put it as public because my page is not public unless I put the post as public. So give me a moment for this to come up, and then we'll be good to go. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, we are excited to have you here today, Mr. Love.
Well, it's my pleasure. Looking forward to, 3 hours? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, you go, Mr. Love. You said 3 hours, baby. I wish I could last that long. I can't. But I cannot. Let me go ahead and put it public.
I consider it an honor, and it's always a pleasure to have a chance to communicate with the community in all different ways. And so it's a pleasure.
Okay. Now, I'm going to have me a beverage. I got this wine. I'm in a wine collector's. This is a Cannery Row white wine 2020 blend from California.
You definitely can't last. You're not going to be able to last for no 3 hours. I know that right
now. No, sir. Look, this is actually going to be a sleep aid for me. I've been just moving so much this past 2 weeks, just constantly moving. And I'm just like, okay, so this weekend, I'm just going to bake. I started my little new cookie line, so it's been kind of taking off. So I'll be doing that this weekend, but I'm going to be resting. I'm not going to do anything else except that. So we are waiting for a few people to get in here. What time is it?
I'm good. How long do you have designated?
You can drop off anytime you want. The segment is an hour. We do an hour. Some people, that's why I was telling you, like you could have came in at 6:15, at least with the guests, especially since early voting is getting ready to start. I definitely wanted to get you on here before that, and definitely want to spend time talking to people how to get registered and stuff like that. Boy, I don't think this wine wanted me to open it. It took me a minute to get in there. But I'm okay. Okay, so what we do on this show, this is Stay Woke. This is the hottest podcast in the Midwest, the only podcast that shouts you out in real time and answer questions. So at any time, some of our Stay Wokers will ask a question. We'll ask a question during the segment. If I can get to it, I will. I do like to try to answer questions. They will also put what city and state they are viewing from. We will shout the people out and shout out their name, what city they're calling, what city they're watching from. So basically, we just talk about everything, keep things real on here, talk about real issues concerning us, and how we can make effective changes. So, all right, let me see who is in here. Shout your name out and city, and we'll shout you out. Is that Jean Pendergrass watching from Phoenix? So, all right. So, Mr. Love, introduce yourself to the audience. Let us know who you are. My family, you're just like family to me. I've been knowing you ever since I was a kid. Your dad and my grandmother and my mom used to go to the racetrack down the Grand Island, Adequate, whatever that's called, Ecafee, all of that stuff. So introduce yourself for those who do not know you.
Well, I surely want to introduce myself to you, stranger. But I'm my name, of course, is Preston Love Jr. I am a native Omaha, Nebraska. I am from our African-American community we call it North Omaha. We've called it lots of other things, but we surely call it North Omaha. We used to call it the Deuce.
The Deuce.
And don't get me started. Now, I ain't never, but I surely consider a pleasure to be able to introduce myself to others beyond the boundaries of our city. I have lived, I was born and raised here in Nebraska, in Omaha. Went to the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, played football for the Huskers. That might be of interest to some. And I was drafted by the Detroit Lions. And I have something great to tell you about my tenure at the Detroit Lions. Would you like to hear that?
I definitely would, because I never knew you played for Nebraska. I didn't know you played football, and definitely did not know you was
Yeah.
a member of the Lions team.
Well, I was a member, but I sat the bench. So I
You
never
was a
really
member
played.
though.
I never played in a game, but I surely was proud to have been drafted and got my little bonus money and spent it in 24 hours. And but I spent the early part of my life, uh, for those who are listening, pretty much focused on, guess what, myself, uh, my cars, my outfits, and all of that. I worked for IBM for 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I left IBM to start my own retail computer store in Atlanta, Georgia. And while there, I met and began to associate with all of the civil rights families and individuals that all of you who are historical buffs, maybe even don't have to be a buff, but the King family, the Young family, uh, just one right after another. I lived there for 10 years. Uh, of course, there also was people that I worked with closely and were very close to. John Lewis, for one, Julian Bond, one right after another. I then became immersed and changed. The reason I told you what I was focused on prior to going to Atlanta is after being there a few years, I began to change in terms of what I thought was important. And it
Mm-hmm.
no longer was just me and my stuff.
Okay.
It was about people and struggles and racism and doing the best you can to make a difference. And so some of you may know, and I know my dear friend knows, but in 1984, when Jesse Jackson ran for president, I was his campaign manager. I'm the one who designed and ran his campaign for president in 1984.
Okay.
All of that history I was a part of. I worked with him a little bit in 88, but I hadn't recovered from 84. But I moved back home here in North Omaha in 2005, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been here uh, all of that time. I am uh, an author. I've written 5 books, 2 of which are children's books. I am an editorial writer for the our daily newspaper here, as well as our black newspaper. I write many articles. I have a nonprofit, uh, in which I'm sure you'll love for me to tell people what I do. With one of those things is I take 40 high school kids every year on a civil rights Black History tour. You're familiar with
Awesome.
that tour?
I am familiar with the tour. What is the name of the nonprofit though?
The name of the nonprofit is Black Votes Matter.
Okay.
Black Votes Matter. Now, the tour is not about voting only, but it's teaching our kids enough history where hopefully they'd want to vote. You know, we go to Memphis, we go to Jackson, Mississippi, we go to Black Wall Street in Tulsa, we go to Birmingham and Montgomery and Tuskegee. We cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge and we end up in Atlanta. It's a week-long tour. I take 40 kids every year and about 40 adults for the last 7 years.
That
We
is
have
awesome.
over 300, young people who have graduated and gone on. Of course, we take all the credit. Well, not really, but we've
That
made.
is awesome. What is the do you have a website? Someone says, first of all, it's shout out time. We got some new people that came in. It's shout out time. This is the hottest podcast in the Midwest, the only podcast that shouts you out in real time, shout your city and state out, and answer questions. We have here Vanessa Warren in here, Patty Morgan, Arlette Brooks. We got a couple of Delta sisters in here. Orania Fellows. Someone said, Mr. Love, how much does it cost for the tour? What is the
Oh,
cost?
good question. The tour is really 2 parts. There is the tour for the high school kids, 40 high school kids. They pay absolutely nothing. Uh, I raised the money. That's why I got gray hair.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all think I'm old. I'm only 22 years old.
I know that's right. That's
but
platinum blonde, not gray. Look, that's
yeah.
platinum blonde, not gray.
But I raised the money. The kids don't pay a thing. So 40 high school kids every year, uh, uh, they don't have to pay. For adults, we didn't design the tour for adults, but the adults start knocking on the door. Hey,
Right.
hey,
I want to
hey!
go. I want to go.
I want to
I
go to
would
Black
love to do
Wall
something
Street.
like
I
that.
want to see where Emmett Till was killed. I want to, and so we start taking adults. So the price for an adult is now $2,500 or $2,300 if you want to do a double occupancy. But that
Uh-huh.
includes there's no other expense. That includes all the meals, all the lodging, all the everything. And so we take about 20 to 25 adults on the tour,
Mhm.
paying adults who go and learn in more depth about the history of it all, and it's a wonderful time. We go every summer. This year we're leaving June 23rd. We'll be gone a solid week, and it's one of the things I'm so proud of now that we've done it for 7 years in a row.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, we're making a difference. So when we talk about Black Votes Matter to the young kids, we
Mhm.
got to do more than just talk the talk.
Yeah,
They
you
got to
got
be
to.
convinced that it makes a difference. And
Right.
if they're not immersed in the history of what we had to go through to get the right to vote,
Exactly. Say that again. Talk your shit,
oh
Mr. Love.
yeah,
If
and
you
we take
don't
that.
know what it took for us to get here, then
No,
you don't know what it means to vote. I have been voting since I was 18 years old. Every primary, every midterm, I've been voting ever since I was 18 because I knew my
yeah,
history.
but see, so many don't, and so
Right.
uh, who you want to blame? I don't know. TikTok. No, I'm kidding. But we just have to make a commitment, and we did 7 years ago to to make sure as many kids as we could reach would have that experience. I do also teach Black Studies at UNO, and one of the reasons that I was convinced to do this tour is because I'm sitting there in front of many Black and white students at
Mhm.
the university level who don't know, who didn't know
Right.
our
Right.
history. And so I committed myself, and now I have a team of people that work with me, and we do this tour every year. It's a lot of work getting ready for it, and it's exhausting, but we do it.
But it's
Even
definitely worth it. We have a
this
couple of
year,
questions. Oh, I'm
sure.
sorry. Go
Let
ahead,
me
sir.
just say this. And this year, of course, I'm running for the United States Senate, and my time is, oh my goodness, I'm busy. But I'm taking off the time from my campaign to continue to be with the kids on the tour this year.
Oh, that is so honorable. So we have a couple of questions in here. That's an amazing thing. I love that, especially that it's no cost to the kids. First, someone wants to know how can they sponsor a kid or give donations. So we want to make sure we get that information in there as part of your fundraising efforts for the Black Votes Matter tour. And then someone also want to know when do you make the announcement and how are the kids selected? Is it like a lottery or is there some type of criteria?
No, but those are great questions. Let me deal with the second one first. Um, the We started off getting all of the kids from youth groups.
Mhm.
Like, let me just name a few. You'll know what I mean by that. But 100 Black Men,
Mhm.
Girls Inc., Boys and Girls Club, Avenue Scholars, the Hope Center. We got all of our kids from those kinds of groups that
Mhm.
are working with kids because they knew who they wanted to go.
Right.
We now do Boys Town and so many, many, many. But it has evolved because now there's so many people who know about the tour. We almost start the recruiting process without starting it. People know
Right.
we're going, and they're standing there with their young folks and say, "I want to send my young man or young woman on this tour," and we start uh, taking kids before we even start looking for kids. So we usually have to do a little work and make we don't make a great big announcement. It's
Right.
almost now between us calling those groups and word them out. We pretty much. So if you have someone that's watching and wants to send someone on the tour, and if you can put this on the chat, this will will help a lot. But I'm going to say it slowly. But my email is Preston Love Jr. Of course, you know it. But Preston Love Jr. at gmail.com. Anybody that has an interest, just send me an email saying, I want to go myself, or I want to send my son, daughter, grand, whatever, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information. For those of you who have just joined, I see Sister Stephanie Mann, retired officer Stephanie Mann, retired officer Selena Sheard. We also have Fonda Crossan. Hello, Fonda. How are you doing today? So for those of you who just joined, Mr. Love is talking about he has a nonprofit. It's called Black Votes Matter, where he take 40 kids and usually about 40 adults on basically a civil rights tour. They go and visit different places, historical places. So if you want to sponsor, I put the information there, reach out to them, or if you have someone that's interested, I'm sure that this has blown up. It's been going on for 7 years. So that's just one of the many things that he's doing, one of the many things. So we got Mr. Love here on an exclusive interview, guy. First, Mr. Love is running for Senate, the United States Senate position. He will be going against Pete Ricketts. I want to play this video clip that I have keyed up in reference to when you made your announcement.
Today, North Omaha community leader and UNO adjunct professor Preston Love Jr. announced that he will run for that same seat on the Democratic side of the ballot.
John Chapman was at the Love rally, and the candidate knows he is facing an uphill battle if he has to take on Senator Ricketts in the general election.
Around 100 people showed up to support Preston Love Jr. as he announced his candidacy for the U.S. Senate. Love first pointed out the diversity of his supporters.
I see people, whether you know or not, that are here from rural Nebraska. I guess, let me tell the truth, I don't see anybody here who's privileged. One party has all of the congressional districts. One party has all of the senatorial positions. One party is the governor. One party is the Secretary of State. One party is the Attorney General.
Love says he will reach outside of the metro areas and represent all the people of Nebraska.
Rural and urban Nebraska have more in common than we have differences.
And he understands that he will face an uphill battle against Pete Ricketts. Love quoted a Bible story to his supporters, letting them know he believes he has a chance.
I'm an underdog, just like David. David didn't go, "Ooh, I'll do it." He stood up strong, and he was confident. So I need you to know I'm confident, but I need you to be confident.
The statewide primary is set for May 14th.
Okay, so I just wanted everybody to see that because I definitely like some of the key talking points. You see, I edited it for the stuff that I want. I need all that other stuff about Ricketts in there. I needed the Preston Love stuff in there. So I definitely love the parallel that you did of the David and Goliath, because we all know, everybody on here, Stay Wokers, know that this is a red state. So so it's going to be an uphill battle, as you've already acknowledged. One of the things you talked about when you announced your candidacy, you definitely talked about that getting in the rural areas. I want to know, because just like Obama and Biden were surprised after they actually initiated and went for those rural areas, that how many votes they may have flipped. So what is your strategy with going with the rural areas? Trying to clutch that vote in the rural areas?
I appreciate that question, but I want your viewers to know, yes, I'm going into rural areas, but don't get the impression I didn't forget where I'm coming from.
Oh, no.
So we're going to talk about that too. But the rural area, in order to win any statewide race, you have to get votes all over the state. And so I did something here it's been a month and a half ago now. I took a 1,000-mile trip on my shuttle bus. I don't know if you have pictures of it, but I have a 25-passenger shuttle bus, and I fixed it up with my picture on it. And we went around the whole state. We started Grand Island, Hastings. We went to Kearney, all the way to Scotch Bluff, came back around. But every place, we stopped 20 places. We went on farms and manufacturing firms. But every place, we met with the people out in rural Nebraska, predominantly non-African American people. But we met with them, and I told them what I believed in. I looked them straight in the face and talked about the value of not having one party that rules the whole state. And guess what? I found out they don't think they're getting the best bang for their dollar from one party either. But let's guess what else? They're not ready to vote for somebody that they see on a piece of paper. They needed to see me face to face, ask me whatever their questions were, see that I'm no big giant threat or some sort of monster from the urban area. Just hear me talk about stuff that made sense. Guess what? Some of the stuff that made sense: jobs and economic development. Hey, we got the same thing going on in right back here. And so when they get through with that, you'd be surprised how many standing ovations I got from folks you wouldn't even think want to speak to me. Now, I did run into some strong mega folks. And but here's what happened with that. I didn't try to change my message or try to accommodate what I thought they might want to hear. I stayed strong, and my team, when we got back to the bus, my team almost made me cry because they were so proud that their candidate didn't get in front.
You didn't conform to their their unrealistic beliefs. You stood on your principles, and you kept it real with them, and you was like, "This is what I stand for," and because you got on that red hat, you're not going to sway me.
And guess what? They're not going to vote for me, but when I left there, they had great respect.
I know that's right.
All of that happened about a month and a half ago. So what I've learned is these folks out there looking for somebody other than vote for than who you think they are. And so we presented an alternative for them. When I stood up in front of people in Kearney, Nebraska, and I said seriously that I believe in a woman's right to choose.
That's right.
And they didn't applaud me. They applauded the idea of what I'm saying. And so they're thinking I may get more votes than you think, and maybe we could win this thing, even though I'm alive.
That is definitely what we are praying for. I have to shout out. I told you, Mr. Love, we just interrupt. I want to let you finish your sentence. Thank you for that thought. We have who we have in here? Francine Williams. Welcome. Arlene Brooks is back. Karen Forever. God's Gal is watching from Houston, Texas. Roberta Neal is in. Francine, let me know where you're watching from. I'll shout out your city. I love what you said. I love your energy about that, because you just never know. Because the thing that people don't know about voting is secret. So you can say all this stuff you want to say and say all this, but when you get in that ballot, it's you and the pencil. Nobody else. There's no cameras over there. I don't care what you wear, what shirt you wear, whatever. When you get in there, that vote is private. So you and I are of a certain age when politics was, we ain't gonna never say politics was honest, but compared to what it is today, is almost biblical. Since Trump entered the race in 2016, since he entered the race, the entire climate, the political climate has changed definitely for the worse. So if you are elected to Senate, let's say when you are elected to Senate, what is going to be one of your primary, what is going to be one of the first things that you try to achieve in that seat?
Well, I will answer that. I want to just underline something you said. See, right now, and a lot of times when I'm speaking with folks now, I want to make sure that they understand what you just said, that in 2024 is what we're talking about. We ain't talking about this, that, what it could be next, well, or where it was. We're talking about 2024. In 2024, we are so divided and so divisive in every way. Folks who don't believe in women's rights, folks who are still racist, folks who have problems affirming women and their men, those folks who are in rural versus urban, all of those divisive things, and folks who carry hate on their back pocket, all of that is the environment. Plus, if you add the juggernaut of Trump and all of his crazy stuff. And so, and all of the people who are not thinking and are following him or enabling him. Now, I don't want to get overly political, but my candidate who I'm running against, I thought I was going to be running against a candidate who was Republican, okay, but who had some distance between himself and Trump. That has changed. Now he's dancing to Trump's tune, just like all the rest of
them.
And so when we look at 2024, we got to handle our business for a whole lot of reasons. We got to handle our they are attacking our right to vote in so many ways. We could talk all night on that. Suppressing our vote. They're doing it right here in Nebraska. Now they got voter ID. We'll talk about that too. But all the things that they're doing all around, it'll be a full cart press on voting if Trump gets elected. And so we've got to realize in 2024, we can't play. We can't talk. We can't intellectualize. We can't do this and all that. We just need to keep our eye on the prize. We need to go to the polls, show our power, and make sure that we don't put ourselves in position for the next 4 to 8 years where we got to unravel all the stuff that has been done that has helped us. They're already attacking and have attacked the 15th Amendment and all of its pieces, the 1965 Voting Rights Act, many of the 1964 Civil Rights Act thing, not even that, but not the Housing Act that kind of made redlining illegal. It's all creeping back. And so we got to stand up. And so each one of us, some of us will run for Senate, some of us will run and vote, and I hope none of us will run for cover.
So the thing is, what you said was so important, and this is what I want the audience to understand. And they hear me say this for every election because they know I'm an advocate for voting, just based on the history that took place prior to us being able to vote. And so this is the most important election of your life. When you have an idiot, a buffoon, someone that can't even put a sentence together, and then people are idolizing this person. Congress, the Republicans are scared to death of him. You got people stepping out of line because they cannot make the responsible decision because they will be outcast, stepping out of line in a position that they were elected by their constituents, stepping out of line, Mr. Love, to because they don't want to submit to Trump and the ignorance of the Republican Party. So it is so important. And I tell people all the time on this show, off of this show, if you don't vote, just let me know because I'm not gonna be friends with you. Don't watch, don't reach out to me. Don't ask me to do this. If you don't vote, that is our constitutional right. That is our civic duty. And for us as a people, we owe that to our ancestors. So everybody on here, make sure you get out and vote. It is very important. And I always bring this up. When Brenda Council ran for mayor, she lost by 900 and some votes, and it was 10,000 of us that didn't even vote. I'm gonna say it again. When she ran for mayor, she lost by less than 1,000 votes, and it was 10,000 of us that didn't vote.
Yeah. And guess what? We've been not voting ever since. You know that let me give you an example that may shock you, not maybe you, but many of your voters. When is the time that we should have voted at our maximum? And the answer is 2008. If we was ever going to vote, that was the time for us to show our power.
Right.
Well, before 2008, every presidential year, North Omaha voted at about turnout of about 47%, and then 55%. And then in 2008, we voted at 62%. Stop right now before we applaud. And so we said, great, we voted at 62%. But guess what? Guess what the rest of Douglas County voted at? 72%. So we voted 10% less even in 2008. And we haven't handled our business. I had, and you may know this, and I don't want to take too much more time on this part, but I surely called for, and we had in February of this year, what we called a Black Political Summit. And we brought 100 more people up there at the venue off 30th and Lake, and we talked to them about these numbers, and we challenged ourselves in 2024, we're going to handle our business. That was last year. And so my point is, I think we have to get the point that we've got to come out strong, because the other part about voting is that we've lost our leverage. The leverage is we want to get something done for our community, and we go talk to the politician and pound on the table, they'd start laughing.
Right.
Because what you going to do about it? You ain't going to vote me out because you don't vote.
Right.
And they will, sometimes they say it, sometimes they believe. We got to show them, we got some power, because we do. Your example of Brenda, you know what that turned out to be if you do the math? It's about 3 or 4 votes per precinct that didn't vote when you add it all up. And so we've just got to understand that we should handle our business if it wasn't 2024.
Right.
But in 2024, we
need
to handle our business. And I'm hoping that, and one of the reasons that I decided to run for Senate, somebody might ask, is that I'm hoping that maybe if Homeboy runs for Senate, that y'all will come out and vote, and then we will done a whole lot of stuff whether I win or not. We're trying to win. Right. But I'm saying if we come out and vote strong and handle our business, we're going to be able to come back the day after and say, see what we can do. You better act right about stuff that relates to our community.
And the old age saying that everybody on this podcast know is there is strength in numbers. That has been around before Chuck was a pup and before Sitting Bull stood. So before any of us was around, they were saying we have strength in numbers. So we have to show up. We have to show up. I got a couple of people in here. Stephanie Mann said that if we get our young people on board, and I'm glad she said that, because during the George Floyd riots and things like that in Omaha was very integral in it. I mean, we had the thing I love most about those protests is the diversity. These young people can be game changers. Don't just show up for protests. That's good that you do show up for protests. We are glad that you're showing up for protests. But baby, come out and vote. That's where you make change at. Your vote is where you make change at. I don't want to hear nothing else about what's happening here and what's happening there if you're not voting. I don't care to hear from you. You have to vote.
Yeah. And I'm going to use what you said because it's so important, so right on, is that what we did with George Floyd in Omaha and other places, we were strong as a reaction to what happened. But what we need to learn and teach our kids is how to be proactive.
Proactive, baby. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Hold it back. If we're strong, proactive, we won't have as much to be reactive about.
Exactly.
And so we gotta do, and I'm doing the best I can, even on my campaign, to involve young people and have them involve other young people. My campaign manager, some of you may know, is named Mike Lee. He's a young man under 30. I did that intentionally to try to get the attention of
Right.
young folks and try to get them to relate to their own generation and see the importance of the stuff that's going down.
Oh yes, I have, and you are that was a strategic move. Vanessa Warren said, if you can stand out and wait in line to get shoes, you can stand in line and vote. Vanessa, talk your shit, baby. Talk your shit, because if you can stand in line for some Jordans, somebody you'll probably never meet in your life before, you'll never be on the NBA court, then stand in line to vote. Voting, somebody said, voting is your power. Please use your power. And you definitely hit on it about the proactive, because I was definitely going to say something about being proactive. You have to be proactive. You have to prepare for something before it happens, so it will not have such a devastating effect. That's what being proactive is. Is just that, oh, I know it's a hurricane coming. Let me hammer up and board up my windows. You're being proactive, making sure, trying to ensure that your windows don't break. So that's what we're trying to do with American democracy, is being proactive and make sure that our rights, honey, they are trying to take our rights. I don't know what y'all are not understanding or listening to. Bit by bit, they're steadily chiseling, and trying to take our rights.
People are so, all of us are so, but especially in poverty-stricken communities, we're overburdened with trying to survive, and that has an effect on PTA meetings and attendance, and all the parents are, our parents, they're just overburdened with stuff. And the same thing with voting, and the same thing with doing things. So we just need to understand ourselves. They're not totally guilty of being acting irrelevant, but we have to get our own community's attention to have to understand that you don't have to stay where you are. You can take control of a little piece, maybe your own house, maybe it's the church, maybe it's your neighborhood, and change a few people's view of things that they say none of that matters. Yes, it does.
It does.
We just have to be, the people on this call have to be strong enough to speak up to your friends and your friends to say, no, that's not good thinking. We need to really understand the implication. Let me tell you one thing I've done to try to make a point is, okay, everybody, I'm running the United States Senate. And guess what? I put my headquarters where? I put it on 24th and Grant to make a point to my community and all over Nebraska that this is where I come from. This is where I'm proud of. So I ain't going somewhere cute to put my campaign. I put it on 24th and Grant, right across the street from
that's right. Right across the street from the Omaha Star. I used to be the top Omaha Star seller. Ms. Gossett was there. I used to pay for my papers in advance. I'm very familiar with the Omaha Star.
I used to sell the papers too.
I was $1 back then with the papers.
Let me tell you something. Do you know how much we got when we sold the newspaper? When we sold the Omaha Star,
how much?
A nickel a paper.
And we got 10 cents. We got 10 cents. Miss Brown and Miss Gossett used to be in there passing out them papers. They was hustling us. I said a dime. Now that I look at it, I'm like, ooh, y'all did us in. Y'all did us in.
Some of the people on your video, they try to say, them folks think I'm crazy. But I got my nickel and bought me so much tater chips and pop.
I know that's right. We got a couple of new people in. Devon Roscoe Vaughn is in here. Kimberly Hollingsworth says she is definitely voting for you, Preston Love. Peaches, Darlene, the nickname Peaches, is watching. She said voting is very important. Anthony Smith is in watching. Welcome, Anthony. What's up? How are you doing? Anthony is watching from, I believe, from Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. If I said it wrong, Anthony, please correct me. So, Preston Love, we have a segment. Well, no, I'm not letting you go yet. I got a video to show. We are going to, for you guys, I don't know if y'all seen this. Is this yeah. Let me see this. I don't know if y'all seen this or not, but this is I know you have, Mr. Love. Have you seen? I'm asking my audience. Have you guys seen the Bible that Trump is peddling?
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
The Bible that Trump is peddling. I was in stitches. I could not believe it. I said, "This is how desperate he is. This is how desperate he is that he is peddling Bibles." For this is from a man who said 2 Corinthians instead of 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians. This is a man who held the Bible upside down. This is a man who held the Bible upside down and said 2 Corinthians instead of 2 Corinthians. And he is trying to peddle a Bible for $59.99. So I'm gonna let you guys see this. I thought it was hilarious. I said, oh yeah, he is definitely at the bottom of the barrel with this. And we have to understand, and I just cannot stand these black men that are acting like Trump did something for Trump has never did anything for any black person. Can you guys see the video? Oh, where is this video? Okay, I'm not sure if that video, did you guys hear the audio in that video about him trying to sell the Bible? Oh,
No.
I cannot believe that. I thought that it was definitely showing. Look, I tried to stream it from Truth Social, so that's why it didn't show y'all. I should have went right to YouTube. It didn't show because it came from his social network, and I guess the system did not allow me to share that.
You know what? May I comment and say,
yes.
Here's what the real, I mean, it's funny and it's comical, but here's the issue for me, and I would like to share that this could be funny, and who cares? But this man is possible that he could be elected again as president, and if we don't handle our business and he becomes the president, then the laugh is he's going to laugh at us, not us laugh. And all this ridiculous stuff it's of no consequence if he got enough knuckleheads to go ahead and vote for him for whatever reason they think. And some of the reasons they're voting for him is because he's going to put us down. Right. So we can sit back and see what happens. We got to handle our business in every state, every city, every community. And so I'm glad you brought that up. He's getting ready to become president if we sit around and jawbone.
And that is 110% correct. And it's funny to me because just for the fact, the reason it's so funny to me, Mr. Love, is because that people even have the thought that they would even vote for someone like this. This is ridiculous. And the thing is, like, a lot of African-American men are are talking about I'm voting for Trump. They have no, when you ask them why they're voting for Trump, they have no, they have no logical reason. No logical reason to say what they're voting for. When you ask them what if Trump did for you, they say, well, what if Biden did for me? Last week I went down a laundry list of stuff that Biden got done. He has gotten done more things done because he was a veteran. He's been a senator since he was 29 years old. Got sworn in when he was 29 years old. He's been a veteran at this game. He is a pro at this game. He knows how to get shit done. So talking about what about, I went down a whole laundry list of the things that he's gotten done. They can't name one thing because, first of all, you, brother, you are not in the upper echelon. So unless you're in the upper echelon, he hasn't done anything for you. He's disrespectful to people of color. He's racist, all of that stuff. For you to just sit up there, I mean, he is to me equivalent to a plantation owner. So you're saying, oh yeah, instead of voting for Chicken George that's gonna try to get me out of here, I'm gonna vote for the plantation owner. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on, make sense out of that.
That's because as a plantation owner, he may feed you, but you better get up in the morning and get to picking that cotton. I'll tell you that.
Right.
So those don't mistake what little gifts they may do, and for they have a purpose of getting our mind changed. I have a hard stop in about 5 or 6 minutes, and so I don't want to be abrupt, but I wanted you to know that, and I also want you to know that we have the primary is May 14th, and I'm going to volunteer that right after the primary, you have me back on and we can talk about what we need to talk about after the election. We're going to have a victory party on that night at the headquarters, which is Old Jesse's, for those of you who know where that is.
But they know where it's at, Preston Love. They know where it's at. I know where Old Jesse's is.
I saw your name written on one of the walls over there. No, I did not.
And tell them Wallace was here.
We painted it over, so no problem. But
we are definitely looking forward to celebrating with you in May. I want everybody to know every election is important, whether it's primary, whether it's general, whether it's midterm, every election is important. Mr. Love, we got like 3 more people in here from St. Louis. We know y'all can't vote for Mr. Love, but we are glad that you guys are in here. I got my sister in here from St. Louis, Charzetta. Charlie is in here.
You have a wonderful new person leader in Omaha from St. Louis. Her name is Vita Jeffries. I don't know if anybody from St. Louis knew her. She came here, a Black woman, to run the, if I may say, racist Omaha Chamber of Commerce. She came here, and in 11 months, they pushed her out of the job because she was too relevant to stuff going on in our community. But she's staying here. She's from St. Louis. She's doing a great job here. And so we got one from you.
We got one from you. We got a good one. Shout out to my sister Mary V. Barnes on here from St. Louis. Kim Hollingsworth said Trump is a 78-year-old who acts like he's 10, and Trump didn't give stimulus checks. Yeah, that's what these people. He gave me a stimulus check. He didn't give you shit. He did not give you a stimulus check. He didn't have the authority to do. He did not do that. He signed his big funky signature. The only thing he probably knows how to spell is his name. He signed that big funky check, sent that check, and then some of these minorities like he did. That was what he did for the upper echelon. That wasn't even a piss in the bucket.
He gave him a tax break, and they got just richer, and we didn't get. Yeah, but
and that's what, you know what, Mr. Love, I tried to tell him. I said I looked up Mitch McConnell, and his wife was worth 2.2 million before Trump came in office. After he got in office, they worth 32 million. That goes for a slew of those Republican House of Representatives and senators. Okay, Mr. Love, I know you got to do a hard stop, but before you go, we know you're a politician, but we are not letting you go because this is the hottest podcast in the Midwest, the only podcast that shouts you out in real time and answer your text. Our segment is called Talk Your Shit, Mr. Love. During this segment, we give you a moment, a couple of minutes to just talk your shit about anything. What are you sick and tired of? So I know you got to go. So go ahead and boom, boom, boom.
Well, I am sick and tired of a couple things, and I will mention them. I'm sick and tired of our community not realizing the importance of looking out for ourselves in everything we do. Voting is just one of those things. But I am old enough to have watched this for too long, too long. Do you know that North Omaha is taking us 50 years before we finally got a few $1 million to help upgrade this community? But 50 years, and I'm sick and tired that we don't realize that we have to fight for everything we get. It shouldn't take us 50 years. We should have been developing North Omaha years ago. I've watched it. We've fought the battle. So I'm sick and tired of people coming up with all kind of good stuff for reasons to do bad stuff. It just, we need to just focus on that and be clear. And I want to say this, that I have found that in this campaign, there are some people, leaders in our community, wonderful people, but they have now they have success. And guess what? And they're scared to endorse me.
Right.
Because when they do, their white friends who gave them some money or who gave them some favor will frown on them if they vote and stand up for their fellow black man who they grew up with. I'm sick and tired of that.
I'm sick and tired of that too. Preston Love, you gave that was one of the best sick and tired of, baby. You eloquently delivered it, and it definitely has a social impact because we sick and tired of that too. But you got our votes. So stay wokers, give Preston Love some hearts. He has been in here for 52 minutes. He was on here 5 minutes early, so he done been on here for almost an hour. Yeah. We definitely appreciate you. We got Professor Brown in, Charlesetta Miguel, we from California. Precious McKinson is in. You know Precious. She is a political giant and an activist.
I'm going to stay for another hour now. I know Precious is on. Precious, let me tell y'all something about Precious. You got to know this. Is that Precious is one of the most powerful women in the state. She's doing important stuff. She is the executive director of one of the two parties, the Democratic parties, and working with folks out of Washington, out of every level. She needs to be respected for the work she's doing. Precious is my friend, and she is a powerful woman that doesn't get the credit that she deserves. That's what I got to say about Precious. And by the way, Precious, pay me that money you owe me.
Send it in the form of a donation, Precious. Send it in so you can write it off. Send it in the form as a donation. All right, Mr. Love, we're not going to hold you up. Stay woker, stay on, because y'all know I got to talk my shit. Y'all know I got to rant about something.
You have me back.
I definitely will. We definitely
will. You want, but we're going to party about the victory in May the 14th, but somewhere in that month, you have me back, and we'll talk about where we got to go to have victory in November. And thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. Everybody give Mr. Love hearts. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for being a champion about it. We appreciate you. And signing off, Mr. Love, thank you. We'll see you in May. All right, stay woker, stay woker. Okay, so y'all already know, if anybody wants to come in live and tell us what you sick and tired of, y'all know I got some shit for y'all ass. So one of the things that so I've got to show this Trump video. I mean, it's really ridiculous. Let me see, where is it? Let me hit it.
This Bible is the King James Version and also includes our founding father documents. Yes, the Constitution, which I'm fighting for every single day, very hard, to keep Americans protected. Also, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance are all part of this. God bless the USA Bible, and it's just very important and very important to me. I want to have a lot of people have it. You have to have it for your heart, for your soul. Many of you have never read them and don't know the liberties and rights you have as Americans and how you are being threatened to lose those rights. It's happening all the time. It's a very sad thing that's going on in our country, but we're going to get it turned around. Religion and Christianity are the biggest things missing from this country. And I truly believe that we need to bring them back, and we have to bring them back fast. I think it's one of the biggest problems we have. That's why our country is going haywire. We've lost religion in our country.
Okay. So just watching something like that really pisses me off when I see Black men claiming to be educated and woke. For instance, that guy that one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter, he's supporting Trump. I reached out to him for an interview. Girl, I was gonna tear his ass up. If he come on, baby, he probably would have been like, click. I was gonna read him to Phil. Just ignorance like that. This man, first of all, has never picked up a Bible in his life until he sent the military out there doing the George Floyd riots and had the Bible backwards and upside down. First time he probably touched the Bible. Just the ignorance. I mean, he is so ignorant. Just the things that he said that he contradicts every single day. And for these these Christians, white Christians, or whatever the hell they are not biblical Christians. I don't know what type of Christians they are. They're not biblical Christians, because they would never, ever support a candidate with his views, with the things that he's done. So it's just asinine. And for all you brothers that I'm not gonna call you brothers, the Black men that are supporting Trump, you're ignorant. Just like I said, they say ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is not bliss. It's too many resources and too much information out here for you to know better. Too much. I'm not accepting ignorance is bliss anymore. You're just ignorant. Period. Let's see who on here. Oh, we got my boy Brett. Be Nasty back in the house. Be Nasty back. Deborah Jones, how are you doing, fam? How you doing? So yeah, so one of the things that I want to talk my shit about is that these parents. Okay, so your kid got a job. So when my kid was in school, now I teach finance to my kids. I teach them how important credit is. Black folks, start teaching your kids how important credit is. Start teaching them how important credit is, because this shirt that I wear today, if it's designer and costs $300, is depreciating as soon as it get on this body. Boom, right there. Start teaching them. Don't say, my cousin was telling me, well, that's her money. That's her money. No, it's not her money. It is your responsibility as a parent to teach your children to be fiscally responsible. That means to spend their money right. When my son Devin got his first job that was government tax, he was 14 years old at what is that? Amigos. He was at Amigos. His check would be $200. He could get $35 out. I told him he would never be able to purchase something that cost more than what he had in his savings. So he just got so used to it. It was regular, but I taught him that when he was 4. I opened his bank account when he was 8 years old. I taught him how to balance a bank book when he was 18 years old. When he was 8 years old. I taught him that. He started his first business when he was 8. We have to do better. A lot of us, that wasn't available to us. Our parents didn't teach us that because they were not taught that. So we can't blame our parents for it. But today, in this day and age, there is no excuse. No excuse at all. I'm sick and tired of parents saying, well, that's their money. That's not their money. If you living in my house and you think that you get to go to work and just spend, now if you saving your money and doing something, but you want to buy Jordans and this and that, but you don't want to put nothing on the groceries, toilet paper, none of that. Oh no. That's not happening. That's not how. Teach it, because when your kid don't have a place to stay after you get tired of that shit and they go stay with their friends or their auntie or their friend's mama, and then they sitting around thinking they don't got to pay them, then it's going to be a problem. So teach them the importance of paying their way as they go, and teach them how to save money and how important credit is. I'm sick and tired of parents thinking that that's not their responsibility. Teach your kids. We know better. So let's do better. Let's do better. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I am definitely sick and tired of that. And I want to let you guys know that there is a scam going on. It's called Tesla Coin. It's called Tesla Coin. Good afternoon, Mark. I don't know. Mark Nichols is in. Gene Pendergrass. Gene is watching from Phoenix. Mark, I know where you're watching from. Shout out your city. Tell me what city you're watching from. We will shout you out. But there is a new fraud scam going on. It is it's called Tesla Coin. So Bitcoin is, hey, if y'all didn't invest in Bitcoin, I cashed out today. I cashed out yesterday at 100% profit. I cashed out like $400 today at like a 79% profit. I didn't know about Bitcoin Cash. I bought Bitcoin Cash at $289. It was today. It topped out, I think, at $533. So that I learned my lesson about holding on to it. It may get bigger. It may get bigger. Guess what? It may not. I made 100% profit. Hey, it's some drug dealers don't make 100% profit, and I don't have to look over my head for it. So yeah, Bitcoin is huge. So now they got a fake thing going on where AI. Y'all done seen some of these people looking 15-year-old looking like Foxy Brown, and instead they look in real life they look like Mrs. Snuffleupagus. So AI is artificial intelligence is very, very rampant now. So they got this thing where Elon Musk is saying, okay, purchase Tesla coin. The thing is the Tesla got 2 S's in it. So he's the AI is acting like this is delivered from the idiot Elon Musk. And you have to pay attention when you look at it. I mean, I had somebody at my job, they bought $50,000 worth of it. And then talking about, but they never sent me anything. Honey, that money is gone. It is gone. I worked too hard for my money to be giving it up for some type of scam. I see Mark is in here from Atlanta. Shout out to my cousin Mark Nichols in here. But yeah, the Tesla coin is bunk, y'all. It is not real. Pay attention. I told y'all this during the holiday season. Pay attention to the URL. Everything will look real. That URL will tell you if it's fake or not. That URL will speak volumes. It's an extra S, an extra dot. I mean, you have to look for it. But Tesla coin is fake. There is no crypto called Tesla coin. Do not purchase it. I've seen some ads on Facebook. It is fake. You will not get anything but your money took. You will not get anything but your money. So let me see. Jean said, I just realized there's a 2-hour difference now. I won't miss it. Oh, yeah. Because the time changed. Yep, you are correct, Jean. So anybody out there want to talk that shit, let me know. I seen Kim put something in here. His voice and his face hurts. Oh, wait a minute. We cannot go without talking about Diddy, baby. Baby, Diddy, your time has come. I was looking at some of those videos. I don't know. I'm sure everybody's seen the raid of Diddy's home. They raided it. I mean, they came in. But this is my thing. Y'all came in and raided 2 of his properties, but he don't have an arrest warrant. I mean, there's no arrest. I mean, there's no warrant for his arrest.
New information coming out regarding music mogul Sean Diddy Combs following the raids at his homes in Miami Beach and Los Angeles.
We're now learning that 2 internationally known celebrities are mentioned in one of the lawsuits. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister joins us from outside Combs' property on Star Island with what we've learned. Anna?
Well, Elliot, Lauren, we're learning quite a lot today, and so far Combs is facing at least 3 separate lawsuits, all accusing him of sexual assault, and that's actually 4 if you're including the lawsuit that was filed on behalf of his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. That lawsuit was settled outside of court, but this latest lawsuit is filed on behalf of a male producer who was working with Combs. It accuses him of sexual harassment, and in this lawsuit, it mentions a member of the royal family, and it also accuses a Hollywood actor of sexual misconduct. As cars quietly rolled through music mogul Sean Diddy Combs' Star Island property Tuesday, the lawsuits against him are loud and clear. Monday, federal agents raided Combs' homes in Miami and LA in connection with the sex trafficking investigation, where belongings of Combs were seized. The raid comes a few months after Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit accusing him of rape, sex trafficking, and abuse. A case that was settled out of court a day after it was filed. That was the first of the 4 lawsuits filed, the most recent a former producer for Combs, Rodney Little Rod Jones. Jones accusing Combs of sexual sexual harassment. In the lawsuit filed on behalf of Jones, his attorney states that Mr. Combs was known for throwing the best parties and states that the mogul used his connections with famous and powerful individuals to lure people in, naming Prince Harry as someone who attended his parties. While Prince Harry is only mentioned once and he is not accused of any wrongdoing, actor Cuba Gooding Jr. is named multiple times.
Look at that
The lawsuit
idiot.
alleges that Combs tried to force Gooding Jr. onto Jones in January 2023 while on a yacht rented by Combs. The lawsuit states that Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' legs, his upper inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulders. After Monday's raid, TMZ obtained video of Combs pacing at the Opa-locka Executive Airport Monday. CBS News has also learned Brendan Paul, mentioned in the most recent lawsuit as Combs' drug mule, was arrested at the Opa-locka Airport for suspected cocaine and marijuana candy on Monday. TMZ also spotted Combs' private jet in Antigua. And it's important to mention that so far Combs is not facing any charges, and he and his attorneys are denying all of these allegations. But for now, reporting live from Star Island.
Okay, so Diddy, they is coming for your ass. I mean, y'all come for Diddy, come for Trump too, like y'all come for Diddy. Come for Trump. Yeah, move over, R. Kelly. You got a bunkmate. Kim Hollingsworth said, move over. I want to shout out Lit Pics for joining in. She said, move over, Diddy. But this is the thing about the privileged people. We talked about these powerful men, and Cuba Gooding Jr. with that hair. I don't know what that looked like, a rolled up carpet, and then you know how it stay rolled up. But anyway, Cuba Gooding Jr., you rubbing all on a man's leg and stuff. This is my thing. Whatever your preference is, that's your preference. But please don't try to act like that you are all into women or whatever if you are swinging both ways. Make that shit known. Make that shit known. People have been killed for less. If that's what floats your boat, that's what floats your boat. I mean, if you like both sexes, you like both sexes. If you just like dudes, you like dudes. Handle your business. You know, that shouldn't get that. Okay, I done seen people killed for less, honey. I done heard people killed for less. Let me see what Kim said. I think they are trying to get concrete evidence. Yeah, before they indict them. Because if they come too early, Kim, you are right. Ooh, that was a little sexual, but I wasn't trying to be, no pun intended. But Kim, if they come too early with charges, it can backfire if you don't have the evidence to substantiate it. But I mean, they've been knowing. I looked at that video with him and Justin Bieber when he was like 14 or 15 years old. And the way that he was just with Bieber, I'm just looking like, this was so inappropriate. Oh, yeah, we about to go get some girls and some women and stuff like that. You know, he was, I mean, just like R. Kelly, that In the Closet shit, wrote about every single transgression that he did. He, like, it was a diary. His music was his diary. He told on himself, you know, and he was like, nobody did anything. So he just kept on telling on himself. It was like, oh, shit, I get to do that. That's what I get to do. But these people in these powerful positions, they are, you know, they believe they're untouchable. And that is the way society in this country has treated them as untouchable. So that's why they continue to do the things that they do. But I just wanted to tap in on the Diddy thing. And Diddy, yeah, you're not getting my vote for anything, because I definitely think I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But y'all see the shit that happened with Jamie Foxx. And then when Jamie was telling everything, Jamie got sick and all this stuff. And now that Jamie is woke, all these charges coming out. I know the young girl, I mean, Jay-Z, you might be next on the chopping block. And this is one thing my son said, because y'all know that we come from a family of pimps. The Coleman family, we almost I think almost every uncle that was bred by my grandmother, that my grandmother gave birth to, except one, the midget. I think everybody else was pimps. Everybody else was in the pimping category. My son said to me last night, shit, ain't no such thing as pimping. Honey, it's sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is federal. That's a whole different game. Them pimping games is over. You cannot give Blondie to somebody for $150. That shit is over. That shit is federal. Y'all seen those vests? Federal vests. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Devin said, ain't no such thing as pimping, baby. It's called sex trafficking. So make yourself, yeah, don't try to get in that game. Deborah Jones said, what about Common and Jennifer Hudson? He been doing these. I said about Common, I said, who wants that community ding-a-ling? He didn't did up everybody. He did up everybody. I don't like community ding-a-ling. I don't care how good they say the person is. Kim, what was that dude name? I just remembered his name. I'm not going to say it. We got Val in from Vegas, Val Thomas in from Vegas. But Kim, you know, he was known for eating coochie, and that was his whole thing. He had come up. His name was Teddy. Fucking y'all know I always give the name up when I say, and that's what he was like. Oh, you must have heard about me. I said I did hear about you, and I do enjoy that. But you've done it to everybody. It means nothing to me. Common, I don't want community ding-a-ling. He's done it. He's been with everybody, and then the way that he leaves them is just like, I mean, who wants to even enter something like? I'm over him. Look, I'm over him. I don't like him. He just swings that dang too much. So yeah, I'm over him and his community. Okay, back on the serious note. Gene Pendergrass put in about 5 years ago, a law enforcement friend attended a conference about Bitcoin. He said 90% of organized crime. I know people with making serious money. Okay, so when Bitcoin first started, I've been knowing about Bitcoin for about 13 years. Should have followed my first instinct and invested in it. Bitcoin was in the black market. It was underground. They could not trace Bitcoin. It was used for terrorists, to fund terrorist organizations and everything like that. Once it became public, Gene, once it became public, that took out a lot of the anonymity. It took out a lot of the secrecy and things like that. Once you become publicly traded, your business is under scrutiny. So every time you transfer Bitcoin, you get a unique address. You get a code. That code is only linked to you. You have to put your social security number, provide ID and stuff like that when you are purchasing Bitcoin on a platform, because it is a publicly traded company. So all the secrecy, and now it can still be used for not so above repost things, but that is definitely tagged now. It's a digital imprint on every Bitcoin transaction. Like, they know I sold mine, they know I gained that money and I sold it. I was like, bump that, I'm not waiting. Somebody's supposed to get up to 100,000. Yeah, it might, but I made 2,000 off of it. I'm taking mine out. And I still left some in there. So if it get up to 100,000, I get some more money. So okay, did anybody have anything else? Let me see. Yeah, that was funny about comment out. Anybody have anything else? We have reached the hour. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and thank you guys for tuning in afterward. I thought Preston Love did an amazing job. So, I want to tell y'all this in case y'all didn't see my video. I make cookies now. This is Shamal's cookies. I don't know if you guys seen the video. It is a dozen. Shamal's dozen is 14 cookies. So Shamal dozens is 14 cookies. You get 14 homemade cookies. They are delicious. They are called Double R after my grandson, Roger Ray. The featured cookie is walnuts, caramel chips, and chocolate chips. And then that, y'all know I always got to put a twist in it that I will not tell y'all about. I got that twist in there. So it's called Double R. For those of you who are nut sensitive, I just keep on saying stuff. For those of you who are nut sensitive on so many different levels, I purchased another blender, another mixer. So I only use one certain blender for those with nuts, because I don't even want to cross-contaminate, risk getting anybody, have an allergic reaction or anything like that. So Shamal's cookies are on deck. They are good. They are soft. They're crispy around the edges. I have a couple of other, I did 5 dozen last night, just based on the video I posted about my auntie burning up the cookies. She said, no, send me the cookie dough. I want to cook my own cookies. And she has a confectioner's oven, which cooks way faster. You're supposed to turn that down like 50 degrees. I told her that yesterday after she burnt like 2 batches. So she said, you can cook mine from now on. So anyway, if you want to order cookies, let me know. I do ship them. You will be responsible for shipping, but I do get discounted shipping through my job. So, and if you pay on PayPal, you're going to pay more because they tax every transaction that you have. You can pay through Cash App, Cash. So I'm going to plug myself because my cookies are fire. So Again, let me see. Ain't nobody nuts. What is your schedule, dates, and time you are on? Valerie, I am on every Wednesday. If I'm not on, I will let you guys know way in advance. Usually when I do a pairing. The next pairing is going to be brunch. For those of you who saw the pairing, we did a martini pairing what was that, on March the 20th. It was amazing, guys. We had a great time. It was an official green blackout. It was so nice. It was very nice. But we will be we schedule at 6:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. If we have a celebrity there, sometime I have to switch up, change up the schedule depending on their booking. So I do want to shout out William King. William King, we wanted to have Preston Love on before early voting started. William King had been booked for a month and a half. He gave up his date. So shout out to William King for giving up your date. We definitely appreciate that. Val, we definitely talk about issues that are concerning us, talk about how we can change things, and we talk shit too. So if you got something you want to talk your shit about, or some topics or anything, make sure you tune in or send us some information. Okay, so it looks like I do want to shout my kids out, Shiffy, Devin, and Shiffy, Tevin, and Devin, going in chronological order. I just want to shout them out. They have been working hard, handling their business these past few months. I am proud of them. I definitely believe in positive reinforcement. Also believe in negative reinforcement. If you need your ass taxed, I will tax it. But if you are doing good, I want to praise you. I want to let you know that I'm proud of you. So I just want to shout them out for doing a good job. I think that I have talked about my sick and tired of. Nobody else put anything in there. Kim, I can't believe you didn't put nothing in there that you're sick and tired of. I will have shirts out. It's called Talk Your Shit shirts. If you just finished the graphics up. So if you want to get a shirt, I'll have them ready. Of course, I'll give some away. Also, and the cookies here. So I want somebody to tell me whoever answers first will get a dozen of cookies. What NFL football team? Because y'all asses should have been on as soon as Preston Love. I'm going to wait on here for 2 minutes. What NFL, or whoever answered first, I'll go to the comment. What NFL football team did Preston Love play for? I'm going to give y'all a minute to answer. For those who were on early, you may know. Y'all can Google it. He played for the Huskers, the Cornhuskers. I didn't know that either. And he was drafted. He played for a NFL football team. Whoever answers that will get a dozen of cookies. If you live out of town, you're going to have to pay for shipping. You're going to have to pay for shipping. I'm going to bake the cookies and send them to you. Was anybody on when Preston Love told us what pro football team he played for? Okay, if no one is answering now, y'all guys are Googling, you're researching, you're trying to play the video back on another device. So if you do not know, whoever answers first, it will be timestamped. That is who's going to win a dozen of cookies. So once again, I do want to thank everybody. Y'all just don't know. It is very, I'm very appreciative of everybody watching. Y'all can spend your hour. With anybody else. Okay, Kimberly, you got the free dozen of cookies. It's the Detroit Lions. Good guess, Jelana Davis. What's up, darling? Good guess, Jelana Davis, but it was the Detroit Lions. And he said that he rode the bench the whole time. I said, it's some people that got Super Bowl rings that never touched the football, only in practice. But again, serious note, I just want to thank you guys. I'm trying to build my audience. I try to keep engaging content with you guys. And I just want to thank you for tuning in. It means a lot to me. I was so tired today. I went into the office today. I've had a meeting every day after work this week, and have a meeting every day after work for the next 2 days. And I was just like, oh, I just don't got it in me. But I knew I had to come. But I want to thank you guys for showing up and always showing out. I will see you guys next Wednesday. I believe we have William King on, our very own William King. And William, shout him out. He goes across the country helping young minority people build radio stations. That is super awesome. He is taking time out of his schedule to do that. So William King, I believe we have William King next week. I know in April, we're also going to have Preston Hogan filmmaker Preston Hogan of H2O Media. We're going to have, Preston been booed up. I'm going to have to hit him up. Preston, they've been returning no calls. I've been texting you, Preston. Okay, come up from air. I know it get comfortable, in some of them cozy spots, but damn, Preston, come up for air for us. Oh, there go Preston right there. Preston, I didn't even know you was in here. Preston, I didn't even, Kim, what was we calling Preston for? Oh, man, Preston, I didn't even know you was in here. Shout out to my boy, Preston Hogan. We are going to have him on in April. We're going to have Richard on, that is Lil Nas X father. He just released a song. So, yeah, we got some good people. We got Ronnie Martin from Atlanta, Georgia, who was on America's Got Talent. So April is lined up. We got April lined up. And then we're going to have Kim Hollingsworth on. You may know her as Bonita Betrayal. And talking about Miss Jenkins, Kim is going to be on a segment in April, giving us the gossip on the hot topic. So again, oh, you called me back, Preston. Kim, let me know what we was calling Preston for. I forgot. I was at Kim's house. Kim was being messy, talking about call. So I'm telling on Kim. Nah, for real, we did have something to ask you. I forgot. But again, I will see you guys. You guys, thank you for tuning in to the hottest podcast. Okay, nope. I forgot to shout out everybody. Let's go to the shout outs. Patty Morgan, Stephanie Mann, Jean Pendergrass, Vanessa Warren. Thank you for always tuning in. We got Serena Russell, Preston Hogan, Arlette Brooks, Deltas. Shout out to the Deltas. Stephanie Mann again. That was me that commented on there. Kim Hollingsworth, Jelana Davis, Anthony Smith, my nephew from St. Louis, my sister Mary V. Barnes from St. Louis, tuning in. Kim Hollingsworth, Karen Culliver tuned in from Houston, Texas. Darlene, the nickname Peaches, always supporting. Thank you so much. My cousin Charzetta McGilwee is tuning in from California. Let me see. Precious McKinson, very, very, very strong advocate in our community. Shout out to Precious for all the work that you do. Y'all know we got to put some respect on it when we say Professor Phyllis Brown. Thank you for tuning in, Professor. My family, Deborah Jones is in here. Jean Pendergrass, Mark Nichols is tuning in from Atlanta. Lit Picks booth for your Lit Picks booth. She has a 360 booth. Hit her up for any parties or celebrations. You don't want those. These are your cookies right here, Devin. Look, Devin that came in to get his cookies, honey. Let me see. Valerie Thomas Owens from tuning in from Las Vegas. Again, thank you, everybody. Jelana Davis, daughter Jelana Davis in here. Again, Preston Hogan, Regina Bird Addison. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching the hottest podcast in the Midwest, the only podcast that shouts you out in real time, answer your questions in real time, and shout you out with your city. Thank you for tuning in to Stay Woke. We will see you next week, Wednesday at 6:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't be late. And we already know, what is it? People tell me, before you go to sleep, you got to do what? Blah, blah, blah. Stay woke. We are out of here.